Huwag kang mag-chem-eng. Yan ang ating topic ngayon. So, obviously, sa video na to, I'm not going to encourage you to take chemical engineering course, but instead, I'm going to tell you some reasons kung bakit hindi ka dapat mag-pick ng chemical engineering course. So, ang unang tanong na dapat mong sagutin is kung bakit gusto mo maging chemical engineer. At kung hanggang sa ngayon, hindi mo pa rin alam kung bakit, then huwag kang mag-chem-eng. Dahil kung talagang gusto mo, aalamin mo kung bakit. Lahat ng bagay bago mong gawin, dapat alam mo kung bakit mo ginagawa. Bakit ka maliligo, bakit ka kakain, bakit ka matutulog, so dapat alam mo kung bakit ka magki-chem-eng. Sabi nga nila, if the why is clear, the how is easy. So alamin mo muna kung bakit gusto mo maging chemical engineer, and then the rest will follow. And you have to remember that chemical engineering is not for everyone. And I guess everyone can agree to that. Not everyone can be a lawyer, not everyone can be a doctor, not everyone can be a politician like a president or senator, and not everyone can be a chemical engineer. So you have to know why gusto mo maging chemical engineer. You have to remember that once you decide to be a chemical engineer, hahawakan mo na yung pangalan na yan sa mahabang taon. So dapat alam mo kung bakit gusto mo maging chemical engineer. And most of the reasons na nakuha namin kung bakit gusto nila maging chemical engineer is that malaki daw ang sweldo, magaling daw sila sa chemistry at math, dahil sa impluensya or inspiration ng parents or relatives nila, and yung iba naman gusto lang maging engineer without knowing kung anong klaseng engineer ba yung gusto nila. Gusto ba nila maging civil engineer, mechanical engineer? They have no idea kung ano ba talaga yung gusto nila. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that kung talagang gusto mo maging chemical engineer, you should start studying kung ano ba talaga yung chemical engineering para naman malaman mo kung fit ba to sa gusto mong mangyari sa future mo. And now, huwag kang mag-chem-eng kung gusto mo ng malaking sweldo. So, tama ba yan? So, for a longest time na kapag nakakita ka ng may nagpo-post na malaki raw ang sweldo ng mga engineers, makikita mo kaagad na maraming nagsasabing this is a scam. So, you have to consider that magki-chemical engineer ka, scam pala na malaki ang sweldo ng chemical engineers. Now, I would like you to have a look on this one. Last November 27, 2019, 899 ang naging bagong chemical engineer sa Pilipinas. If you look on the website ng PRC, you will see the list of the people who passed the Chemical Engineering Board exam noong November 2019, and this is 899. Okay? So, napakaraming estudyante ang nakakapasa or nagtitake ng Chemical Engineering Board exam every year. So, if chemical engineering is a scam, so ganyang karami ang nai-scam taon-taon. Well, we have to first check ano ba sa'yo yung malaking sweldo. Ano ba yung expectation mo? Kasi kaya mo sinasabing scam yan, kasi meron kang expected na range ng salary and hindi mo yun nare-reach. So, ano ba yung range ng salary na ine-expect mo para sa isang engineer? So, dapat maintindihan natin yan, no? And now, tanungin din natin yung sarili natin. Is your diploma and engineering license enough to give you the salary that you want? Kasi meron kang expected na salary, no? So, sapat na ba na meron kang diploma and meron kang lisensya para makuha mo yung salary na yun? So, lahat ba nang gagraduate na merong diploma at nakapasa sa board exam, dapat ganyan lahat ang sweldo? What I mean is yung range na nasa isip mong sweldo, dapat ba ganyan ang salary ng lahat ng makakapasa sa engineering board exam? Well, first, I would like to highlight that I agree na dapat talaga taasan ang starting salary and the average salaries ng mga chemical engineers. And we deserve that. However, if we are going to talk about getting a really high salary, then we really need to sit and think about it because there are lots of factors na kailangan nating i-consider. Well, since we are taking engineering, alam natin na kapag gusto mong i-analyze yung isang bagay, you have to look for all the factors affecting that. So, pag-usapan natin yung salary dahil meron kang target range na gusto mong ma-achieve. So, ano-ano ba yung mga factors na nakaka-affect sa salary? Well, of course, yung ating education. Diyan papasok yung ating diploma and engineering license. And ito talaga yung may pinakamalaking factor kung bakit they have to consider na medyo mataas ang iyong starting salary. And that is very obvious. If you have a chemical engineering license or chemical engineering diploma, then you really deserve to have a higher starting salary. But this is not the only factor na nakaka-affect sa salary. Another factor na dapat nating i-consider is yung experience. Okay, so kapag sinabi na, uy, scam yan dahil hindi naman totoong malaking sweldo ng mga engineer. So, we have to ask, ano ba yung experience niya? Bakit sinasabing mababa or malaki ang sweldo ng isang engineer? We have to look at their track records or ang kanilang experiences. Dahil nakaka-epekto yan sa range or sa laki ng salary. So, ano pa yung ibang factor na dapat natin i-consider? Another one thing that we need to consider is the location. Well, of course, kung ikukumpara mo yung sweldo dito sa Pilipinas, mas malaki talaga yung sweldo sa ibang bansa. So, location is really a factor. And hindi lang yan sa ibang bansa. Even dito sa Pilipinas, magkaiba yung rate ng sweldo if you are in the province. So, meron tayong tinatawag na provincial rate. Okay? So, nakaka-apekto yan sa range ng salary rin na pinag-uusapan natin ngayon. So, ano pa yung pwedeng maka-apekto sa ating salary? Another one is yung industry. And everybody knows that na malaki yung sweldo if you are working in oil and gas. Especially kapag naandun ka sa offshore sa foreign countries, malalaki talaga yung sweldo nila, no? So, it will depend kung ano yung industry na napasukan mo, and it will also depend kung gaano kalaki yung kumpanya na papasukan mo. Well, of course, kapag maliit yung company, mas mababa yung sweldo, and kapag mga giant companies or mga corporations na malalaki, syempre, mas malaki sila magpasweldo. And another thing na dapat mo i-consider is yung boss. Okay? Kasi, kag ang boss mo ayaw sa'yo or hindi gusto yung performance mo, nakasalalay sa kanya yung pagtaas ng sweldo mo. So, sila yung nag-a-assess ng performance mo, kung satisfied ba sila or hindi. So, your salary is also dependent sa judgment or sa analysis or sa performance monitoring na ginagawa ng iyong boss. At kung medyo minamalas ka pa, pwede ka ring mapolitika sa trabaho. Another factor na dapat mong i-consider is yung mga associations and certifications. So, meron tayong iba't ibang certifications, trainings, or another skills na dapat matutunan kung gusto mong mas tumaas ang iyong salary range. So, for example, if you are in field of quality control, so meron mga trainings katulad ng Six Sigma na pwede ninyong enrollan or pag-aralan para magkaroon kayo ng certification in which can be an added value kapag kayo ay naghahanap ng trabaho. Another factor is yung hazardous working condition. So, kaya nga yung mga offshore mas matataas ang kanilang salary range because of the hazardous environment kung saan sila nagtatrabaho. No? So, it is also another factor na dapat i-consider. And of course, this is one of the main reasons na nakaka-affect sa salary in my opinion. And that is performance. Because paano ka mag-expect ng mataas na salary if you are underperforming, if you cannot meet the expectation of the company? So, these are the questions that we need to ask. Mababa ba ang sweldo natin dahil sa as a whole, mababa talaga yung sweldo ng engineering? Or dahil sa we lack the skills or the knowledge or the competency? Well, let me tell you a story na nangyari sa factory namin. So, meron akong 2 worker doon. Pero, ipapanguna ko na sa inyo, these are not Filipino and they are not engineers. So, ikukwento ko lang sa inyo para ma-highlight ko sa inyo kung gaano kahalaga yung performance and experience sa pag-a-analyze ng salary. So, meron akong 2 worker. Ang isa sa kanila is glass cutter at ang isa naman is assistant glass cutter. So, ano ba yung trabaho nila? In our factory, we are the biggest glass processing in the Middle East. And marami kaming machineries na ginagamit, so automatic yung pagka-cut ng mga glass. However, meron kaming isang part doon sa aming factory kung saan manual na kinakat yung mga glass. So, wala silang gamit na kahit na anong machines. Okay, so meron lang silang glass cutter. Yun lang ang gamit nila. So, kailangan lang dito is skills. Okay, kailangan natutunan nila kung paano gamitin or paano mag-cut ng glass in a professional way. So, our glass cutter is working with his assistant in the manual glass cutting table for more than 10 years. Okay, so nung nag-join ako sa aming factory, matagal na silang nagtatrabaho ron. Until dumating yung time na yung glass cutter namin decided to retire. Okay, so everyone understood because matanda na yung aming glass cutter, so they said, okay, fine, you can retire. And then later, the question was raised, sino yung papalit dito sa aming glass cutter? And ako naman is bagong hire lang that time, so I said, he have an assistant for more than 10 years. So of course, the next in line is the assistant glass cutter. Okay, because manual lang naman yung trabaho, skills lang naman ang kailangan, so 10 taon mahigit na sila nagtatrabaho sa parehong table. So, of course, itong assistant glass cutter can take over the job of the glass cutter. And then, the assistant glass cutter told us, I don't know how to cut a glass. So, syempre, hindi ako naniwala. Talagang pinilit ko siyang ipakita sa akin kung paano mag-cut ng glass and talagang hindi niya alam. So, this is what I'm trying to convey here. This is an opportunity for the assistant glass cutter to take the position. Pero dahil wala siyang skill and he cannot prove na kaya niyang gawin yung trabaho, it is impossible to promote the assistant glass cutter. So, you need to have the skill, you need to have the knowledge and the capability para mas tumaas or magkaroon ng improvement ang iyong salary and your position. So, the bottom line here is that it is not just about your diploma or your license as a chemical engineer, but it's also about the value that you can add to the company. Therefore, I think ang tamang term na dapat natin gamitin is huwag kang mag-chem-eng kung gusto mo ng malaking sweldo agad because it will take time. If you want big salary, then you have to earn that. And we are going to discuss that later. For now, I will give you an idea kung ano ba yung sinasabi ng iba't ibang website tungkol sa sweldo ng mga chemical engineers. Let us start with the salary expert. Okay? So, according to salary expert, ito daw ang average base salary ng mga chemical engineers sa Pilipinas. So, hindi ko to inimbento. If you want, you can check their link here. Pwede nyong i-check yung website nila para makita ninyo na talagang nakasulat yan sa website nila. No? So, according to salaryexpert.com, the average salary of chemical engineers in the Philippines is 626,928 pesos per year, which is equivalent to 52,244 pesos per month. So, palakpakan tayo dyan, no? Ang laki ng sweldo ng mga chemical engineers sa Pilipinas. But I don't know if everyone will agree on this. Now, me, I work for a very long time sa Middle East, kaya hindi ako masyadong updated kung ano ba talaga yung swelduhan sa Pilipinas, ano. Pero tanungin natin tong salaryexpert.com, paano nyo ba nakuha tong data na yan? So, sabi nila, ito raw yung proseso nila ng pagkuha ng data kung ano yung sweldo ng mga chemical engineers or iba't ibang trabaho, no. So, unang part ng kanilang process yung data collection. So, they are gathered from 3 sources: surveys we conduct, surveys purchased from other organizations, and reports from publicly traded organizations. So, tatlo yung sources nila, no? So, very good. Sunod, meron daw silang data verification. So, after compiling our compensation data, we conduct QA to ensure our data is vetted, verified, and the highest quality. So, talagang pinag-aralan nila para siguraduhin tama yung kanilang mga data at in highest quality. And then meron din silang analysis na ginagawa kung saan yung salary expert conducts advanced analytics to accurately capture the market value of each occupation in our salary survey database. So meron silang ginagawang high-tech na salary analysis. And then meron din silang quality assurance para masigurado na yung nakasulat dito totoo. So, paano na ginagawa yan? Salary expert analyst double check and the result for each job every quarter. So, dino-double check nila yan every quarter, no? So, talagang hindi yan chamba. Talagang every quarter nire-review nila yan. Our verified salary survey information helps set benchmark pay. So, talagang inaral po yan, no? Kaya yan ang data nila according to salary expert. Now, salary expert results. Explore Salary Experts Wage Salary and Compensation Database of over 11,000 job titles, 1,100 industries, and 8,500 locations. So, talagang pinag-aralan nila yung data na yan, no? So, wala akong masabi. Pero, bago natin paniwalaan yan, tignan naman natin kung ano yung sinasabi ng pay scale. According to pay scale, the average chemical engineer salary in the Philippines is 303,103 pesos per year. Okay? So, ito yung source. So, hindi ko yan inimbento, no? If you want to look up on this value, talaga nakasulat yan sa pay scale. Ito yung kanilang web link. Okay? So, according to this, ang salary raw ng chemical engineer every month is 25,000. Okay? Yan yung average salary ng chemical engineer sa Philippines. So, medyo lumapit-lapit ba tayo sa katotohanan? So, I don't know. You can decide base sa performance ng inyong kumpanya, no? Now, medyo magpakatotoo tayo ng konti. Meron ditong value na bigay yung DOLE. Okay? Yung Bureau of Local Employment. So, ano naman yung sinasabi nila tungkol sa starting salary ng mga chemical engineers? So, ito yung link niyan. Hindi ko yan inimbento, no? So, according to the Bureau of Local Employment, chemical engineer salary compensation, a chemical engineer's entry-level salary ranges from 10,000 to 28,000 per month and may even go up to 41,000 per month for those who are highly trained and experienced. So, ang sweldo raw ng chemical engineer sa Pilipinas, starting salary or entry-level salary is 10,000 to 28,000 per month. So, pasok na ba to sa mga entry-level salary na na-receive ninyo na mga offer? So, I think pasok to, no? And sabi nila, it can reach up to 41,000 pesos. So, makatotohanan na ba to? Well, I think the given values are realistic. But, of course, it depends on the companies, ano, sa maraming ang factor na dapat nating tignan. Now, I cannot tell about anybody. I can just tell you about myself. So, let me tell you about my first job. I'm going to share to you kung magkano ba yung sweldo ko sa unang trabaho ko. No? But first, you have to take note that my first job is more than a decade ago. And dito yun sa Pilipinas. No? So, my first job is in EPSA Cavite, which is provincial rate ang aking sweldo. And trabaho ko doon, I am an R&D engineer. And magkano ba yung sweldo ko doon? Tumataginting na 8,200 per month. So, napakababa kaysa sa pinag-uusapan natin kanina. But this is a decade ago. So, hindi ko alam kung ngayon ba 20,000 na ba yung starting salary. So, according to DOLE, it is 10,000 to 28,000. So, you have to expect somewhere around that value. But I tried to ask several engineers na kakilala ko dito sa Pilipinas, and they told me the current average salary right now is around 15,000 to 20,000. So, more or less, nakapaloob siya doon sa sweldo na binigay ng DOLE. Okay, so bago kayo malungkot, try naman natin pag-usapan kung magkano ba yung sweldo sa ibang bansa. So, I cannot tell you about other countries. Ito lang kasi talaga yung mas familiar ako. So, I will tell you about the expected salary dito sa Dubai, United Arab Emirates or UAE, no? Pwede sa Abu Dhabi or sa iba't ibang lugar sa United Arab Emirates. Okay, so pag-usapan natin ano ba yung ini-expect nating starting salary or average salary sa UAE. Well, first, disclaimer first, no? Iba't iba yung salary range ng bawat kumpanya. So katulad nung sinabi ko kanina, maraming factor na pwede nating i-consider, no? So, yung kumpanya, malaki ba yung kumpanya? Maliit ba yung kumpanya? Okay, I'm working in a family business. So, medyo hindi sila malalaking kumpanya. And isa pang factor is kung ano bang industry yan. So, I'm working in a glass processing company. So, obviously, mas malaki yung sweldo ng mga nasa oil and gas. But, let me give you an idea according to what I experienced and to what I learned sa mga kakilala ko sa UAE, no? So, starting salary range ng engineer is about 4,000 to 6,000 dirhams. So, tax-free to so far for a longest year tax-free yung mga salary na nakukuha sa UAE. Pero medyo mahal ang cost of living lalo na pagdating sa accommodations, no? Medyo mahal ang accommodation sa UAE. So, magkano ba yan sa pesos? So, itong 4,000 to 6,000 dirhams is around 56,000 to 84,000 pesos, no? So, tulad ng sabi ko, i-minus mo dyan yung bayad sa bahay, transportation mo sa araw-araw, pagkain. So, yung iba, merong mga transportation allowance naman or may service shuttle yung mga kumpanya. So, average salary. So, ito yung starting salary, no, expected natin. So, average salary could be 6,000 to 8,000 dirhams. And this is around 84,000 to 112,000 pesos. Okay, so, katulad ng sinabi ko, ito yung so far alam ko na nangyayari, lalo na sa kumpanya namin. So, this is what I know, and other companies can be different dito sa data na binibigay ko sa inyo. And of course, katulad ng sabi ko kanina, yung sweldo ng isang engineer para masabi mong maliit or malaki is dependent sa performance mo. But in average, yung salary ng engineer will be playing around the values na nandito sa table natin ngayon. And take note, merong mga engineers that is earning around 12,000 to 13,000 dirhams. Okay? So, I just want you to know. I'm just telling you here yung average. Okay? Pero, marami akong nakilala na engineers that is earning 12,000, 13, 14, 15,000 dirhams as an engineer. Okay? Now, of course, maganda pag na-promote ka because of your good performance. Kaya sinasabi ko kanina, kailangan ang performance na maganda para makakuha ka ng magandang sweldo. So, of course, dapat ma-promote ka. And now, we're going to talk about managerial positions. So, magkano ba yung average salary ng mga managers? So, as far as I know, sa mga nakita ko, ang salary ng mga manager is about 15,000 to 25,000 dirhams. Which is in peso, is around 210 to 350,000 pesos. Okay, so, yan yung average salary ng mga manager. And kapag nasa top management ka, your salary will be around 30,000 to 50,000 dirhams, which is around 420,000 pesos to 720,000 pesos. And this is not a joke dahil mayroon ako mga kakilalang sumusweldo niyan. But mostly hindi Pinoy. Of course, mayroon mga Pilipinong sumusweldo niyan. But as far as I know, mga nakilala ko, meron ako nakitang sumweldo ng ganito kalaki, but this is not Filipino. Sa mga Pilipino, I could see somebody earning 30 to 40,000. No? Meron mga ganyang managers na kumikita niyan. So, okay, so I guess you now understood that it will take years of great performance bago nyo ma-achieve yung ganyang kataas na sweldo. And this is sa ibang bansa, no? Hindi sa Pilipinas. So, if you're not willing to invest time and work hard in order to upgrade your skills and personality, then wag kang mag-KMeng. Okay? Because it will take time kung talagang gusto mo magkaroon ng ganyang salary. And wag kang mag-KMeng kung ayaw mong magpuyat. So, naalala ko yung isa sa mga professors ko when I'm in college, she told us sa very start ng aming semester, ang una niyang sinabi sa amin, there will be many sleepless nights. And yes, there are lots of sleepless nights. And take note, it is not just in school but also in work. If you choose to be an engineer or chemical engineer, then you have to be prepared dahil magkakaroon ka ng mga sleepless nights. So, kailangan medyo kaibiganin mo yung antok at ang kape. And then, wag kang mag-KMeng kung gusto mo lang magpasikat. Yung bang tipong bida-bida lang. Kasi merong wow factor in being a chemical engineer. Kaya nga, magiging usual na kapag meron kang kausap na hindi ka namang kilala at kapag sinabi mong, yeah, I'm a chemical engineer, meron ka agad, wow, you're a chemical engineer. Okay, so merong wow factor yan na parang nagbibigay sa'yo ng bragging rights. And it doesn't matter kahit na failing pa yung mga grades mo. Well, don't get me wrong. It's okay to be proud kapag na-achieve mo na yung pagiging chemical engineer. After all, you work hard for that. So, it's okay to be proud sa mga achievements mo. Pero magkaiba kasi yung proud sa bragging, no? And what I'm trying to say here is that kung gusto mo lang magpasikat, kung yan ang purpose mo, gusto mo lang kasing masabing matalino ka or magaling ka, kaya ka nag-chemical engineering, then wag kang mag-chem-eng. Okay, so again, wag kang mag-chem-eng kung ayaw mong mag-upgrade ng skills. So, napansin namin sa karamihan sa mga estudyante, they are more concerned sa present lang na nakikita nila, no? So, yun nasa harapan lang nila, like, mahirap ba yung chemical engineering or paano ako makakakuha ng magandang grades, paano ako hindi babagsak sa exam, no? But, on this point, I would like you to broaden your thinking. Huwag kayo mag-focus lang sa nasa harapan nyo ngayon. You have to consider or think of chemical engineering as a course, but at the same time, you have to think of chemical engineering as a career. Dahil ang pagkuha ng course ng chemical engineering, maybe you can finish this 4 to 5 years. But after that, you will have your chemical engineering career for more than 10, 20, or 30 years. So, matagal mo nga hawakan yung title na yan. Compared sa wino-worry mo ngayon na 4 or 5 years lang. Kaya dapat medyo lawakan mo yung isip mo about chemical engineering. No? Now, my advice is for you to invest in upgrading your knowledge, skills, and personality development. And katulad nung sinabi ko kanina, do you want to earn more? Or gusto mo ba ng mas mataas na sweldo? Then you have to take note of this. Your income will not exceed your skills and personal development. Kung gusto mo ng mas mataas na sweldo, then dapat mas mataas na skills ang ibigay mo. And dapat mas mataas ang level ng personality mo. If you want your salary to be extraordinary, then your performance should be extraordinary. Well, hindi mo kailangan maging Superman or napakagaling mo. But you just have to do ordinary things in an extraordinary way. You have to be more creative and more skillful. Kaya kailangan mas i-upgrade mo yung mga skills mo. Hindi kasi po pwede na gusto mo ng mataas na salary pero underperforming ka naman. You have to deserve what you want. Gusto mo ng ganyang salary, then you have to deserve it. Kailangan makita ng kumpanya that you deserve that high salary. I could tell you as an advice that you really need to learn more skills and personality development. You know, once you start working, no, after you graduate, magtatrabaho ka na, you will realize na hindi lang naman ikaw ang chemical engineer, napakarami nyo. Katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, 899 ang nakapasa ng Chemical Engineering Board Exam last November 2019. And every year, ganyan karami ang nadadagdag na bagong chemical engineer. So if you think about this, kapag nagtrabaho ka na, hindi lang naman ikaw ang chemical engineer. So sa tingin mo, how can you get a salary na mas mataas sa kapareho mong chemical engineer din? Bakit sa isang kumpanya, merong dalawang chemical engineer na possibly graduate sila sa parehong school and possibly pareho lang yung kanilang position and possibly magkasing edad lang sila. Pero bakit mas mataas yung sweldo ng isa kaysa sa isa? Ano yung mga dahilan kung bakit yung isa is nakakakuha ng mas mataas na sweldo kaysa sa isa? So you have to consider those things. Now, let me again tell you a story. And nangyari to talaga sa aming kumpanya. No? There is a newly hired engineer. Again, papanguna ko na. This is not Filipino. And now, this guy is an engineer. Fresh graduate engineer to be exact. Okay? Now, what's so special about this guy, no? Kasi nung na-hire siya, he don't know Microsoft Excel. He don't know Microsoft Word. He don't know Microsoft PowerPoint. So, nung magsisimula na siya magtrabaho, kailangan niya ng training. And naka-assign para mag-train sa kanya is our kabayan. Okay? And of course, nagreklamo siya na tuturuan ko lang siya ng trabaho. Ako pa ba dapat magturo dyan ng Excel? Okay, if you have this kind of engineer na nagtatrabaho, no, and you have these people naman na engineer din and knowledgeable siya sa technology or sa mga skills, meron silang additional skills na pwedeng i-offer sa kumpanya, who do you think deserve to have higher salary? Well, of course, mas deserving si kabayan na makakuha ng mas mataas na sweldo. And yan naman yung usual norm na nangyayari sa mga kumpanya. Kung sino yung mas magaling, mas malaki ang value na nabibigay sa kumpanya, siya ang mas may malaking sweldo. But unfortunately, on this case, mas malaki yung naging sweldo nitong bagong hire. You know why? Dito naman pumapasok yung another factor na nakaka-affect sa salary, no? Yan naman ang tinatawag nating connections. Connections that we don't have. So, pare-pareho sila ng lahi, so sila-sila yung magkakasama. So, my advice for you is to learn more skills and personality development. So, ano-ano mga skills ang dapat nyong matutunan? So, there are too many skills, but I would suggest for you to learn these basic things. Una, I would suggest na pag-aralan nyo yung paggamit ng Microsoft Office, no? Dapat marunong kayong gumamit ng Word, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, o kung ano pang available dyan sa inyo. And yung mga communication mediums natin, katulad ng Zoom and Skype, and kung ano-ano pang mga ginagamit ngayon na communication medium. And then yung mga Google Apps. Okay, kasi libre to, kaya maraming gumagamit nito, no? So, dapat marunong kayo gumamit ng Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive, Google Form, Google Sheet, at kung ano-ano pang apps na ino-offer ng Google. Now, kung gusto mo naman na magkaroon ka ng additional skills para mag-stand out ka sa iba pang mga engineers na kasabayan mo, I would suggest for you to learn Six Sigma and yung magkaroon ka ng basic knowledge about ISO certification. So, meron tayong quality management, environmental management, and yung health and safety. No? Maganda, matutunan mo na yan habang maaga pa. So, may mga trainings na binibigay dyan. Mas maganda kung ma-attenan mo siya para magkaroon ka na ng knowledge and certifications about these things. Now, regarding personality development, meron kang mga dapat na i-improve in your personality para mas makapag-perform ka ng maganda sa iyong trabaho. So, una na dyan is try to enhance or mas pagandahin mo ang iyong leadership skills, no? Kailanganin mo yan kasi once you become an engineer, magkakaroon ka ng mga subordinates. So, kailangan meron kang leadership skills na kaalaman or you are practicing some leadership knowledge or skills para naman ma-apply mo siya sa trabaho mo, no? And another one is communication. Medyo mahina tayo rito, no? And kagandahan lang kasi sa Middle East, okay lang magsalita ng Barok. It's not about the language, but it's about communication. Kailangan marunong ka makipag-communicate kahit na bali-baliktad ang English mo, no? And of course, one important things na dapat na matutunan mo is yung reporting or presentation. And you will be doing this a lot. Kaya kahit sa school pa lang, kapag meron kayong reporting or presentation na dapat gawin, try to volunteer. Kaya ngayon pa lang, i-assign mo na yung skills mo dyan. Kasi kailangan matutunan mo yan eh. It's not that kung kailangan mo na siyang gamitin, saka ka pa lang magpa-practice niyan. So, it's better na practicein mo na siya habang estudyante ka pa. And also, if you want to be a chemical engineer, dapat nating tandaan, hindi yan math and chemistry lang. Okay, so ang top 1 kasi sa mga sinasabi ng mga estudyante kung bakit sila nag-chemical engineering is because magaling sila sa math or mahilig sila sa math and chemistry nung high school sila. So, this is the top reason why student took chemical engineering. So, it's very good if you are good in math and chemistry. But there is a lot more in chemical engineering. I remember last year when I posted this. And I said on this post that chemical engineers are universal engineers. And it reached 20,399 people. But there's something more about this, no? It tells us na hindi lang basta math and chemistry yung chemical engineering. Okay, so kung naiisip mo lang kasi kaya ka mag-chemical engineering dahil magaling ka sa math or chemistry, no, it's more than that. So, ang mahalaga rito is yung hindi ka lang basta magaling dyan. Kailangan interested ka. Kasi maraming branch na panggagalingan pa ang dapat natin pag-aralan when you study chemical engineering. So, bakit nga ba tinawag na universal engineers ang mga chemical engineers, no? So, chemical engineer are called universal engineers as they not only study chemical engineering but also other subjects such as process calculation, process design and its cost, how it can be economically favorable to design and plant, is it cost effective, and equipment also we used to design by ourselves, no, as chemical engineers. Process instrumentation and its control, We also study transport processes and unit operations such as fluid mechanics, heat transfer, etc. And in chemical engineering, we study thermodynamics, and it is also which is also studied by mechanical engineers. And we also studying environmental engineering and a lot more. So, marami tayong pinag-aaralan dito sa chemical engineering. So, overall, combining all, we can say that yes, we study in every aspect of engineering, starting with manufacturing to plant control and its designing to cost estimation to a complete model of a plant. So, yes, we can be considered as a universal engineer. So, it's more than just mathematics and chemistry. So, dapat ready tayo dyan. So, I just want to clarify these things. No? Now, wag kang mag-chem-eng if it's not coming from your own decision. So, marami rin kasing sumagot kung bakit silang nag-take ng chemical engineering because sabi ni nanay o ni tatay mag-chem-eng ka. Or yung iba naman, chemical engineer kasi si nanay o si tatay or yung relatives nila and they saw that they are successful. Kaya sila nag-chemical engineering. Well, don't get me wrong, no? Mabuti yung maging masunurin sa magulang. And sabi nga nila, your mother knows best. Well, it's okay to take the advice of our parents, but you have to personally agree on that. Kasi dapat kapag tinake mo yung course na yan, you enjoy that. Talagang gusto mo yan para hindi ka basta-basta mag-quit kasi that is your goal. You wanted to really accomplish that goal, no? And if it is based on other people's opinion or other people's advice, then most probably you will give up too quickly. Your dream doesn't have to be big. It just have to be yours. So, you have to be responsible to your own decisions. Okay? So, dapat nag-decide kang kunin yan because para sa'yo, yan ang tama, yan ang gusto mo. Katulad yan ng pag-aasawa. Kasi habang buhay na kayo magsasama, so dapat ang kasama mo yung maganda sa paningin mo, di ba? And then sabi nga natin dito, nag-chemical engineer sila kasi yung nanay yung tatay nila or yung relative nila is a chemical engineer and they saw that they are very successful. Well, it's okay na tignan natin yan by that way, no? Pero hindi kasi dahil champion boxer ang tatay mo, dapat boxer ka na rin. You have to learn to find your own skills. Kailangan makita mo kung ano ba talaga yung gusto mo personally at ano ba talaga yung skills na kaya mo, no, na nag-i-enjoy ka. Well, you don't have to be a boxer when you can be a rapper. And again, I would like to remind that you have to look at chemical engineering in a broader way. You have to think of chemical engineering as a course and think of chemical engineering as a career. So, therefore, if you decide to proceed in chemical engineering, make sure that your decision is a product of your own analysis. Hindi mo dapat sisihin yung ibang tao na ayoko talaga mag-chemical engineer, napilitan lang ako kasi sabi ni ganito, sabi ni ganyan. No, you have to be responsible on your own decision. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, you have to do something na talagang gusto mong ma-achieve because you will be working hard on that. Okay, so let's wrap it up. Huwag kang mag-chem-eng kung gusto mo ng malaking sweldo agad, ayaw mong mapuyat, gusto mo lang magpasikat, ayaw mong mag-upgrade ng skills, and hindi ka talaga decided na mag-chem-eng. On contrary, mag-chem-eng ka kung you are willing to work hard to deserve the salary that you want. Willing ka mag-work ng extra hours, hindi lang dahil bida-bida ka, no? Hindi lang para magpasikat, kaya ka nag-chem-eng. And willing ka mag-upgrade ng skills, knowledge, and personality development. And ang decision mo to proceed in chemical engineering is a product of your own analysis. Well, that's all for now and thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa mga ipopost namin.